Pharaoh was then helpless and bankrupt, so he hid in his house for fear of paying the debt. So one by one, the creditors started coming to Pharaoh's house. Pharaoh was very clever and deceitful, not just a deceiver, but also a liar. So even if he was in a house, he would keep the door of the house open so that the creditors would understand that no one was home. Day after day, the creditors came there, but when Pharaoh did not see them, they went back. Pharaoh kept thinking to himself how long he would hide himself like this. He had to establish himself. At that time, Egypt was the best in the world economically. Then Pharaoh, afraid of the creditors, left for Egypt in the dead of night. After traveling a long way all night, he finally reached Egypt. After going some distance, he met his friend Haman. As soon as he saw him, Haman asked him, "My dear friend, why are you here? What is your situation?" Pharaoh said, "My friend Haman, I am in great trouble. I have hidden away because of creditors. I am completely destitute. I am covered in debt all around. Now I have no one to help me. I need a job." Then Haman said, "Pharaoh, I am in the same situation. I need a job." Then Pharaoh and Haman went out in search of work. After traveling some distance, they were hungry and thirsty. Looking from afar, they saw a man cutting watermelons. Pharaoh and Haman slowly went to the watermelon and said, "Uncle, we are very hungry. Please give us some watermelons." As soon as the man heard this, he gave them watermelons. They ate their fill and were satisfied. Then the owner of the watermelon field asked them, "I have never seen you before. Who are you and where do you come from?" Pharaoh said, "We have come from a foreign land." The owner of the watermelon field thought that he also needed workers, so he asked them, "Will you work for me?" Haman said, "Of course I will work." The owner of the watermelon field said, "If you want to work for me, you must work honestly. You cannot steal." Pharaoh was a deceiver, so he was cunning. He said, "I have never lied in my life, let alone stolen." In this way, Pharaoh and his friend Haman won the heart of the watermelon field owner and got to work. From the next day, Pharaoh and Haman went to the market with watermelons. From the market, they sold the watermelons at a higher price and showed more profit to the owner. In this way, they won the heart of more owners. A few days passed. One day, Pharaoh said to the owner of the field, "Uncle, sell me the watermelons to me in pieces, then you will make more profit." The owner of the field agreed to his words. Then from the next day, Pharaoh took the watermelons to sell in the market again. Pharaoh would buy the watermelons in pieces. Sometimes he would steal some watermelons, and when he came to the market, he would cut the watermelons into pieces and sell them at a higher price. In this way, Pharaoh earned a lot of money by trickery. One night, Pharaoh said to his friend Haman, "If we only sell watermelons like this, we will not be able to do anything else in life." At that time, a wonderful event happened. The king of Egypt issued a notice through his army throughout the country. The soldiers went to various places and said, "This is to inform you that a gatekeeper is needed in the Egyptian cemetery. If anyone is willing to do this job, he should contact the court of the most truthful king of Egypt." Saying this, the soldiers left there. After hearing all this directly and indirectly, Pharaoh said to his friend, "Haman, let's go to the royal court." Haman said, "I don't think it will be possible." Then Pharaoh said, "This job cannot be missed. Let's try once." Then Pharaoh and Haman immediately appeared at the royal court of Egypt. The king of Egypt asked them who they were and what they wanted. Then Pharaoh begged and said, "I am a traveler from a foreign country. I am very poor. I heard that you are the gatekeeper of the cemetery. Please, if you would give me this job, I would be eternally grateful to you." When the king of Egypt saw Pharaoh, he thought to himself that he was in good health and looked good. So he appointed Pharaoh as a janitor of the cemetery. From the next day, Pharaoh was appointed as a janitor of the cemetery of Egypt. Day and night, Pharaoh stood in front of the cemetery, and in a small room next to it, his friend Haman and Pharaoh lived together. One night, some people came to bury a dead body, but Pharaoh stopped them and did not let them enter the cemetery. Then they said, "What is the matter? You are stopping the burial of the body. Why are you really stopping the burial of the body?" Pharaoh was really a deceiver and a liar. So he tricked me and said, "Have you not heard? The king of Egypt made a new law that a gold coin must be paid to bury a dead body. These people believed Pharaoh and buried the body with one coin. Thus, the news spread that a gold coin must be paid to bury a body. In this way, Pharaoh earned a lot of money by cheating. At that time, a strange thing happened in Egypt. At that time, the wrath of God began. Many people started dying from cholera all around. Then some people came to the cemetery to bury the dead. Then Pharaoh became even more cunning and said, 'The king of Egypt has made a new law. If a person dies from cholera, then only by giving him 2 gold coins can he be buried in the cemetery.' Pharaoh cheated everyone and earned a lot of money. In this way, that year passed. Then Pharaoh said to his friend, 'Haman, look, I have earned 2 bags of money, but we will take these to the king of Egypt.' Haman was shocked when he heard this. He said, 'Pharaoh, have you gone crazy? After working so hard for money, you will cheat everyone, and in the end, you will give that money to the king.' Pharaoh said, 'Haman, be patient. My intelligence will gradually become clear.' Then he did not delay. The next day, Pharaoh and Haman appeared before the court of the king of Egypt with 2 bags of gold coins. They asked him what was the matter. 'Why did you come to the royal court with the sack?' Then Pharaoh said, 'My lord, I have brought 2 sacks of gold coins.' Hearing this, the king's minister scolded them and said, 'I am amazed at your courage, that you are standing in front of the king of Egypt and showing off your money.' Then the king of Egypt said, 'Where did you get so many gold coins, and why did you bring this?' Then Pharaoh said, 'My lord, I used to take a gold coin from those who came to bury the dead. Besides, it contains my salary money. My main purpose is that I give you the gold coins on behalf of the poor people in Egypt who have not been able to pay their taxes for the past 2 years. Please forgive their taxes.' Hearing this, all the people there were surprised. The king of Egypt was attracted by his actions and drew special attention to him. From the next day, it was spread throughout Egypt that a cemetery keeper had paid the taxes of the poor people of Egypt for 2 years. All the Egyptians began to say that such a good man could not be seen in all of Egypt. If the man had been the janitor of the cemetery and not the king of our country, how happy we would have been. In this way, he first became the king of Egypt, then won the hearts of the people of Egypt. Then a long time passed. One day, the king of Egypt died of old age. Everyone around him was worried about who would be the second Ramesses, the king of Egypt. A few days later, an emergency meeting was organized in the royal court. One of the prominent wise men there said, 'This way, the seat of the king of Egypt cannot be left empty. You all discuss it and decide who will be the king of Egypt.' Then one of the people there said, 'Sir, we think that the boy who is a janitor of the cemetery, that is, the Pharaoh, has the same health as him. Moreover, he also thinks very well of the people. We think that he should be made king.' Then that prominent wise man said, 'Okay, but—' So, with everyone's permission, Pharaoh became the king of Egypt. The man who once sold watermelons was a cemetery gatekeeper. Today, by a change of fate, he is the king of all of Egypt. No one knew how wicked a person Pharaoh was. Meanwhile, after Pharaoh became the king of Egypt, he again used various tricks and deceptions to make his friend Haman a minister. One day, Pharaoh was sitting in the royal court. He suddenly announced that no one in all of Egypt would have to pay taxes for the past year. All these taxes would be forgiven by Pharaoh. The common poor people of the whole world were very happy to hear this news. Then, when no one was there except Pharaoh and Haman, Haman said, 'Friend Pharaoh, if you forgive all the taxes like this, how will the kingdom continue?' Pharaoh said, 'Haman, be patient. Then I will make such a plan that we will be the kings of the whole world for the rest of our lives. There is no power that can defeat us. For this, wisdom is needed.' Saying this, the 2 of them left one by one, and from the next day, they traveled all over Egypt. Pharaoh's name was being discussed at this time. Haman called Pharaoh and said, 'Friend Pharaoh, if you want to remain king for the rest of your life, then some work is definitely necessary.' Pharaoh asked, 'What is that work?' Then Haman told him everything one by one. Then Pharaoh organized an emergency meeting in the royal court. Pharaoh said, "From today on, there will be no education system in all of Egypt. All schools will be closed." Pharaoh issued a royal decree that no person in Egypt will be able to learn or teach. If anyone disobeys this decree, he will be killed. All of Egypt's small stone idols and worship them should be broken, and worship the idol of Pharaoh. In this way, within a short time, Pharaoh's words frightened him, and he stopped learning. The people of all of Egypt forgot about Allah and became foolish and ignorant. People became completely like four-legged animals. Then Pharaoh became very arrogant and started thinking so much of himself that he became so arrogant that he claimed to be God. Day after day, the amount of tax imposed on the people increased. The injustice and oppression increased. Pharaoh alone began to rule all over Egypt. The amount of usury, bribery, and adultery increased. In a word, Pharaoh began to humiliate the children of Israel. No one except Assia was spared from Pharaoh's humiliation because Assia was the most beautiful, virtuous, and pious woman of that era. So after many years, Pharaoh welcomed Assia as his wife. Once Assia was sitting in her own room and began to think to herself that the way her husband, Pharaoh, was oppressing the people of the country unjustly, claiming to be God, she would surely fall under the wrath of Allah and destroy all the people of the country. At that time, Pharaoh entered that room and said, "Assia, why are you looking so worried?" Then Assia said, "Dear husband, you must know that this world, the moon, the sun, the sky, and the earth were all created by the great Allah Almighty. Therefore, no matter how much power a person gains, he cannot create a small insect. People are mortal. One day, everyone will have to leave the world. So stop calling yourself God and return to the path of Allah." Pharaoh became very angry and scolded Assia. If anyone else had said this, "Assia, I would have killed him. Just as everyone has accepted me as God, you also accept me as God, or your situation will be the same as theirs," Pharaoh said, and left. Meanwhile, Assia became very worried because she had nothing to do. She only started crying. Many days passed like this. Then one day, Pharaoh was sleeping in his own room. In the middle of the night, he saw a huge ball of fire coming from the direction of the Israelites and burning the whole of Egypt to ashes. However, nothing happened to the Israelites. Seeing this dream, Pharaoh woke up quickly. The next day, Pharaoh did not delay and called the great astrologers from different parts of the country to the royal court and told them about his dream. Interpreting Pharaoh's dream, one of the astrologers said, "O king, do not worry. We see your death in the future. You will not be able to remain the king of Egypt for long. Your power will be shattered." Hearing this, Pharaoh became very angry and scolded the astrologer and said, "What do you mean? Is there any power that can remove me from power?" Then the astrologer said, "A boy named Moses from among the children of Israel will end your power." They left there. After a few days, Pharaoh said to Haman, "Take an army and kill every house in Egypt that has a baby boy." As Pharaoh said, Haman took an army and searched every house in Egypt and started killing the boys. According to the interpreters, when about 80,000 boys were killed, Pharaoh was once again brought to count the biggest astrologers in Egypt. Then the astrologer said, "You are the one who will kill the boys in Egypt. We can see that the boy named Moses is not among the sons you have killed." Then Pharaoh said, "Count it well." Now the astrologers said, "We can see that the boy named Moses is not among the sons you have killed. No matter how hard you try to kill him, you will not be able to kill him. That boy named Moses will crush your power, and that boy is now a child." As soon as Pharaoh heard this, he became even more angry and immediately ordered you to search every house and kill whoever Moses is in. This news spread throughout Egypt. Then Hazrat Moses' mother became very worried about how to save her child Moses. At that time, his daughter Miriam was herding goats on the banks of the river. She looked carefully and saw that many of Pharaoh's armies, including Haman, were heading towards their house. After seeing this, Miriam quickly went to her house and said, "Mother, Pharaoh's army is coming towards our house. Please save my brother Moses." Hearing this, Hazrat, the mother of Moses, was completely shocked. She did not know what to do. By that time, Pharaoh's army had surrounded their house. At that time, Allah, the Lord of the worlds, said through an unseen voice, "O Moses' mother, do not delay. Put your son Moses in the burning furnace." Without delay, the mother of Moses put the baby Moses in the burning furnace. Then suddenly Pharaoh's army entered the house. They said, "We have received news that you have a son named Moses in your house. Give him to us quickly." The mother said, "Look, I have a daughter. If Moses is in my house, then you must find him." Then Pharaoh's army searched the house from side to side, but they could not find him anywhere. Finally, they all left. Then the mother of Moses went to the burning furnace crying and saw that Moses was alive and playing the burning fire. For the sake of Allah, not a single hair of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, fell into the fire. Then the mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, thanked Allah and said, "O Allah, you are the owner of all power. All praise is due to you. O Allah, you have saved my son Musa." Then the mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, had a dream that night in which Allah, the Lord of the world, said, "Make a wooden ark and float Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, in the blue sea." Meanwhile, Allah, the Lord of the worlds, called Hazrat Jibril, peace be upon him, and said, "O Jibril, go help the mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him." Upon receiving this order, Hazrat Jibril, peace be upon him, started coming towards Prophet Musa's house. In the morning, Hazrat Musa, peace be upon him, was very worried in front of his house when he saw a dervish coming to his house. Then the mother of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him, said, "Who are you?" So I did not recognize him. So he hid his identity and said, "I am a carpenter. Do you need make any wooden thing?" Immediately, the mother of the Prophet Moses said, "Of course, I need to make a wooden ark." And that is how Allah helped the mother of Moses through Gabriel, peace be upon him, by making an ark. Then he made Moses float in the Nile. What is the power of Allah? Wherever the current of the Nile goes, the wooden ark of Hazrat Moses goes in the opposite direction of that current. In this way, floating, this wooden ark of Hazrat Moses reached the royal court of Pharaoh. Pharaoh and his wife, Asya, and the slaves were present there. As soon as the mother saw the ark, Asya came forward. Asya opened the ark and saw a beautiful young child with a light shining on his forehead. She had never seen such a beautiful child in her life. So without delay, the mother came and took Moses to the royal court. He took Salam in his arms and went to Pharaoh and said, "Look how beautiful this child is. I will raise this child." Pharaoh said, "No, this child may be our enemy. It may be one of the children of Israel. I will kill him." Then the mother came and said, "What are you saying? If this was a child of the children of Israel, how did it come from the opposite direction of the river? It was supposed to go that way." Pharaoh did not say anything else, but said, "Okay, you can raise this child." Then the mother came and took Hazrat Musa, peace be upon him, and entered the royal court. When Pharaoh took Musa, peace be upon him, in his arms and was about to kiss him to love him as his own child, Hazrat Musa, peace be upon him, slapped Pharaoh with the child's hand so hard that the royal court shook. It felt as if an earthquake had started. Then Pharaoh became suspicious and thought to himself, "Surely this child is an ordinary child. No, he has to be tested." Then Pharaoh said to one of them, "Go and bring some gold and bring fire with it. I will test this child." Hearing this, everyone present there was shocked. When this man brought fire and gold, at that very moment, Allah, the Lord of the worlds, through Hazrat Jibril alayhi salam, turned Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, hand towards the fire. Musa alayhi salam started crying and screaming. Then Asya said, "There is no one in this world who is as hard-hearted and cruel as you. Does this young child know the difference between fire and gold?" Then Pharaoh's mind was lost, and thus Hazrat Musa alayhi salam started growing up in Pharaoh's house. Dear viewers, today's video ends here. Assalamu alaikum. Everyone will be fine.